Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another stream from Hugo's desk. I hope you can all hear me well. It's pretty hot on London, so I have my air conditioning on, so I hope that's okay. And I hope you can hear me well. So do please let me know if the sound is okay. And of course, let me know if the air conditioning is annoying in terms of sound noise, from your side. But I can see a lot of familiar faces here, so thank you so much for being here. And today, this is the deconstruction stream. As you know, we do this every 2 weeks. And this stream is sponsored by Foundry, as you can see on my shirt. Today, so we're going to do just like we did in 2 weeks from now. We're going to basically spend the next hour and a half or so. I'll be deconstructing some visual effects production shots, real productions that I directed or supervised. That's the chance of you checking out some of the work that I've done over the years. And while I do that, I open the floor for questions. That's why I have the little pin here. You can ask me anything if you want, so all good. The AC is perfect white noise for focus. Okay, I do apologize about the AC. It is a bit noisy, I know, but it's just I just can't not have it. It's too warm here with all the computers and everything. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, so this stream, keep the questions coming. I can see there's already one question going around here. Keep in mind that I will try to answer the questions as fast as I can. Sometimes I'm looking at my screen, so sometimes I might not see your question, so be patient. I will reply to you. But before we go anywhere, I just wanted to I would like to thank Foundry for sponsoring the stream. They are amazing. They're always sponsoring the streams for years now. I couldn't do this channel really without the support of the Foundry, so thank you so much. Thank you so much to Jan, to Elise, to Christian. They've been amazing at supporting my channel. Thank you so much. And they also have supported the community a lot. And as you know, we are having a giveaway, which has been kindly offered by Foundry. So we are going to be giving away a Nuke Indie license, which is worth $500 by the end of the stream. So the link is on the top of the chat. So if you want to join the giveaway for the Nuke Indie license, just go to the top of the chat. Remember, as usual, with the giveaways, you have to actually be in the chat at the end to be on the giveaway. So if you don't want to be here for the rest of the day, for the rest of the hour, you can always come back later. We'll probably be here for another 90 minutes, I would say. I have 2 giveaways. I'm giving away a Nuke Indie license, courtesy of Foundry. I'm also giving away a Hugo's Desk course, which is also worth $250 as well. So for 2 lucky people on the audience, yeah. Well, I'm not. I understand that, Mikhail, that I need a separate room for the computers, but I'm not gonna do that. I only have this room. That's the room I have. This is my room. I live in London. Very limited space. This is the room I have. And my computers are in the back there. I can't really have them. And even if I have the computers in another room, it's still warm here inside because the houses in London are not really prepared for summer, really, to be honest. So that's not going to happen unless I become rich. And I'm not going to be rich by doing streams, that's for sure. Okay, so let's, with this in mind, I just want to thank Foundry, and to thank Foundry, I'm going to run a commercial from them. And again, thank you so much, Foundry, for supporting my streams. I'll play a short commercial from them, and then we'll start diving into the questions and the rest, okay? I'll be right back.
Foundry's Nuke is the industry standard tool for compositing in the film and TV industry. We've produced and curated all the essential resources for learning Nuke and preparing you for the profession, as well as recommendations for other training resources. You'll learn compositing fundamentals, rotoscoping, keying, tracking objects, color management, 3D compositing, and much more. Our objective is to empower artists with all the knowledge they need to push their skills to the next level. Jump in and start learning today.
Okay, once again, thank you so much to the Foundry for supporting the stream. The giveaways are also up, so as you know, I have usually a QR code, which I'm putting in now. So that's the... Oh, sorry, I'm on top of the link, I think. Oh, I need to be on the top there. Otherwise, I'll be on the top of the link. So the link is on the top of the chat for the giveaway, the Nuke Indie license. I'll put it on the link again. Let's see here. So that's one giveaway we're doing. The second giveaway we are doing is the Hugo's Desk Nuke course as well. So that's the QR code and the link, which is on the chat right now, for the giveaway of the Nuke Indie license, which is courtesy of Foundry. And then I also have the Compositing course as well, which is courtesy of me, of Hugo's Desk. And that's the QR code, and that's the link as well. I'll be doing the giveaway at the end of the stream, as usual. And I guess that's it. And also just wanted to remind everyone that my course currently is 50% off. So if you want to join my course, it is currently 50% off with the code Spring Savings. So it will be like that until the 1st of June. So you can sign up to any of my Nuke courses, either the Nuke course, the regular course, or the workshops as well, which is still not finished, but it's on its way. I'm also very happy to announce that I'm going to be announcing a new course soon as well. So I'm currently doing a brand new course, which is going to be very exciting for a lot of people. It's not just compositing, it's other things. And so I can't wait to reveal more. I'm not going to reveal a lot right now, but hopefully I'll let you all know soon how that's going. Okay, and that's it, really. The last thing that I wanted to just shout out is, as I usually do, wanted to shout out to my wife's book. So basically, if you like good food, and if you like good food, and if you like vegan or vegetarian food, you don't need to be vegan or vegetarian. You can check out her new book, Green Recipes for All. It's available on Amazon. It's available on all Amazons. You can buy it on the States, you can buy it on the UK, you can buy it on Canada. I'll put the link of the UK, but you can really buy it on any Amazon. And so can't vouch enough for this book. This book is amazing. Of course, I'm biased, of course, but the food is really good. And that's the QR code as well, and the link is on the chat. And here's the book. I actually have the book physically here. I have a little surprise about this book on the break, so I'll share with you in a minute about that. But yeah, if you want to support a self-published author like my wife is, and support her work, this book is really tasty, the food is really good, and you should really check it out. Okay, so now that we've done all of that, let's open up Nuke, and we do have a few questions. Remember, keep the questions coming. I really enjoyed that last time, where I was like going through Nuke and basically answering questions. Really enjoyed that. If you didn't like it, just let me know. But I do have one question here. The first question is from Halo VFX. The question says, I've got a question for you, Hugo. I'm rendering in Redshift Maya, and I'm rendering with depth of field on the render. Would you advise me never to do this and always do depth of field in Nuke instead for easier changes? So this is actually a really good question, Alo. It's a really good question because, as a rule of thumb, I tend to do depth of field in compositing. And the reason for that is because then you can adjust the things more accurately. You can adjust bokeh, you can adjust the amount of depth of field, you can create rack defocusing, and you can have a quicker turnaround with your client in case they want to change something. And then that's, of course, for a full CG shot. And if you're not doing a full CG shot, if you're doing a shot that has live action, then it's crucial that you control the depth of field in case you need to match it to whatever was filmed with the camera. So in that way, you can match the bokeh, you can match the amount of the f-stop of the camera, you can match the bokeh, in PG bokeh, you can even have the actual sensor size. You can really go through, I'll open up in Nuke and I'll show you what I mean. It's probably easier for me to just wait my Wacom tablet to wake up. Just give me a second. Okay, so here it is. So if I go to here and I put there, it'll be down here. So if you go to the bokeh node, which is latest edition of Nuke, you see the cool thing about this is that you not only have multipliers for the front and the back, where you can actually really quickly add more depth of field or less depth of field in case you need that, which is really cool because it allows you to kind of tweak things. But I think the best of this node really, and we talked briefly about this node last time, and don't forget my streams, which are all on YouTube. They all have chapters. So if you go to my streams, especially the deconstruction streams, you can actually go to the chapter where I answer a question. The same way this question, I will be putting a chapter on, and then you can click on the chapter and go directly to that question. So okay. But the cool thing about this is that you can put the focal, which is the lens, you can put the f-stop, which is the exposure of the camera, and you can actually have a typical camera. You have these choices, of course, of 35 sensor, or you have Academy sensor, or even have, for thirds. You have a lot of sensors here, even full frame as well, of course, in Super 35, which is Super 35 is kind of close to what I'm filming right now. This is a Blackmagic, so that's I'll put this line, that one over there. That's the Blackmagic Urza Mini Pro G1, and that's a Super 35 camera. And on top there's a Pocket. That's a Super 45 camera as well. Now, the one on the back, the one that is filming me right now, which is the Canon C100 Mark II, which is that one over there, which is on the corner there. That one is actually a little bit bigger than a Super 45, just a little tiny bigger. And so this is really cool because it allows you to really put whatever sensor you want, and then you can have the depth of field matching the footage. I know I'm kind of like going around on the questions. I do apologize for that. So to answer your question, it is, I think, in my view, a bit easier to control depth of field on compositing so that you can fine-tune the depth of field according to the plate that was filmed, and also according to whatever you have in mind in terms of creativity. If you're doing a full CG shot, what kind of shot you want it to be. Having said this, obviously, you can also do these things in CG. You can also put the sensor correctly in CG, put the f-stop in CG, and actually render from Redshift correctly already. And it produces better results than the bokeh node. It does, because the bokeh node has issues with edges. And so if you really want to not have edge issues with bokeh, then you need to render in deep. And then, of course, your render times will be bigger, the file size will be bigger, and then you're handling deep, and then becomes a problem because it's much heavier. And so I guess the answer depends on what you're doing. The majority of time, from my experience, you want to do the depth of field in comp so that you can adjust it with client and make fine adjustments. But if you have the time and if you have render power, then you can just render it on CG, and then if you want to make a change, you render it again, and if you make a change, you render again. It is possible. In fact, some companies have done that in the past. Famously, I remember reading articles about the fact that Pixar used to render depth of field in the farm, but they have a really big farm, and so they can afford to put it on the farm to render. So I think, to answer your question, it's a complicated question. I hope I've answered as best as I could. Like everything, there's always a lot of ways of answering the same question. Yeah. I think that's okay. Cool. Thanks for answering. Makes total sense. And now I'm not sure why I'm wasting time rendering the depth of field. You're not wasting time, you know. Now motion blur on 3D for sure. I would definitely do motion blur in 3D because the vector blur in Nuke is just bare bones. I mean, I hope the Foundry can really make this better soon because although it's GPU accelerated, which is nice of them, I just feel that this is very bare bone and it doesn't really correspond. I wish that the Foundry would make a motion blur node that would actually have controllers like the PG bokeh. So you would have controllers like shutter speed, ISO, f-stop, and all the controllers that would contribute to the motion blur, especially controlling the shutter with real life scenarios so that you would control the shutter just like a camera. You would put 1 to 50, 1 to 60, and you could have the controllers to actually adjust the shutter speed just like a camera. I wish that would be the case, that they would have done it, you know. Okay, so a lot of people are answering on the chat as well, so I can't thank enough. Everyone answering. Mikhail is answering on the chat as well. Metake is answering on the chat as well. Francisco is also saying on the chat as well. So thank you so much for contributing. We have a lovely community. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see here. KGR asks, do you need to do primary color correction on the raw plates? So let me just see if I can understand what you mean. Do you need to do primary color correction on the raw plate before merging the CG on top? No, okay, so again, Meta Chaos, sorry, I'm going to again say something that it would be confusing, I guess, but depends on what you're doing, okay? So some companies like to do pre-grading to plates before they do to CG. So that kind of, especially the commercials companies do that sometimes, which is a shame. They should not do that, but sometimes they do pre-grading and then they send the plates and then the CG has to figure out. The problem with this is that as soon as you touch the plate, you are going to move the values of the plate. And so if you're doing this properly on a scientific level, the plate has a certain value. You know, so if you look at the footage that you've filmed with your camera, imagine the brightness of a light is 3, or the brightness of light is 2.5, or the brightness of gray is 0.7, or whatever. Like, imagine that it has its own values that have to do with how the way it was shot and the way it was processed by the sensor and the way the color space applied it to it. And so that will then match the HDRs filmed on set with a different camera, and then by using the color charts you then match them both, and it corresponds to real world values. So you have the values of the lights, the temperature of the Kelvin of the lights, especially the temperature. So you've done measurements on set with the Kelvin of the temperature, the Kelvin of the sensor, the Kelvin of the camera of the lights. And so as soon as you start color correcting before putting the CG, then your CG, you're going to have to be struggling with your CG to try to match it. Because the CG, if it was done correctly, it would have been rendered with correct lighting temperature and with all the settings that were gathered on set. So as a best approach, the best approach would be to not touch the footage, not touch the CG, merge them exactly as they are if they were done correctly. That means your footage has to be correctly linearized or converted to ACES correctly with the correct color space of the camera, and then the CG has to be correctly lit by the HDRs and by the Kelvin that was gathered on set. These two get merged, and then you should grade on top. And this is why often on TV shows, on films, on even on commercials that have higher budgets, you would have a LUT, and this LUT is from the production, and so the production would have like a LUT of what the color correction will kind of be from the graded colorist, and that LUT is non-destructive, so it would be on top of the footage, and then you can turn it on just to see what you're doing, and you can turn it off if you don't want to have the color correction. So that's kind of the way it would work. So yeah. I guess well, the reason I'm why is temperature measured in kelvins? That seems odd scale to use unless you want your lens to be an absolute zero. I guess I can't answer that questions. The only thing I can tell you, maybe you can ask a cinematographer about that. A cinematographer will probably answer you why that happens, but the reality is that all cameras have Kelvin for temperature. Even the cameras I'm using right now. Currently, I'm running 4,200 Kelvin on this environment. That's and my monitors are at 6,000 Kelvin, and that's why when you look at them here, they're a bit blue, you see. And the reason I have this Kelvin is because I like the warm tone to it. So I'm actually putting a Kelvin that has to do with the look that I want you guys to see on my stream. But that's a different, that's the thing, different thing. Meta K is rare. Hugo can't answer. Well, the truth is, I have no idea why they measure in Kelvin. That's a good question. I don't know, Adam. I have no idea I'm assuming the Kelvin is the methodology that was approached on the beginning and everyone just used it. But I'm sure someone that has more scientific knowledge of color can answer that than me. And goes far, Meta Chaos. I don't know everything, no, for sure. So Ed H. Well, let's see here. So what else is? Let's see here. Yeah, so just like Kenze says, there's very less info about this vector blur. There are so many problems and so much related to anti-aliasing and jagged edges. Yeah, for sure. The vector blur is really not that good. Yeah, so let's see here. Ed H says, what's your preferred way to create good-looking atmospheric perspective that preserves the HDR play sky and it doesn't muddy it? That's a complicated question. I don't know, like you're talking about like fogging or atmospherics. I mean, for a long time I've used the depth passes and fake depth passes and ramps to fake atmospheres. I'm assuming that's what you mean. So we're gonna get into that actually, because the shot that I'm gonna deconstruct next after the one I'm doing now has a lot of that. It has a lot of fog and things like that. So yeah. So okay. Halo VFX asks again, have you got any tips for denoising Redshift renders in Nuke that is effective? Arnold has things like noise denoiser, which I've heard is great, but Redshift doesn't have anything like that, I don't think. Yeah, Halo, I don't really have a tip. The way I do it is I tend to composite the entire Redshift shader with AOVs, and then I deconstruct the AOVs, and then I go AOV by AOV, and then I denoise the ones that usually are the most culprit. Usually the GI the indirect is quite noisy. The reflections sometimes are quite noisy, so I tend to denoise those, and so I would be denoising only certain passes and certain AOVs. That would be for me the way that I've been doing it for years, yeah. Let's see here, more questions. I'm assuming now that I have so many questions on the chat, I'm assuming people are really enjoying asking questions. I should have this pin more often, I guess. Let's see here. Federico Federico Palumbo asks, is there a correct process in order to add a CG reflection on a live action footage? Example, a CG bullet casting reflections on the car window live action. I don't know what the process would be. I guess it would be the footage, and then you would have rendered on top whatever shadow pass you would have, and then the reflection would be probably a screen operation to have the reflection. So, and the reflection would have to be coming from CG. So basically, you would have to build a proxy version of the car in CG so that you have the reflection of the bullet there. So that would be the process I would do. Yeah. Let's see here. Anirunda says, please explain this node with respect to V-Ray velocity pass or any render pass from 3D. Yeah, so I promise I can explain the vector blur next time around, because I don't have vector blurs on this shot that I'm going to open today. But I do have vector passes on, I have vector blurs on the Zeiss commercial I did, so we'll do it very soon, probably in the next few weeks we'll do that. Okay, so let's see here. Mikhail has answered about the Kelvin, which is good. That's great. Thanks, Mikhail. Okay, so Q&A session is always amazing. Oh, thank you so much for saying that, Annie Duda. Thank you so much. How much AOVs are enough AOVs? So, basic CGI, that's a good question. It depends on how much time you have. If you have a lot of time on a production, if you have a long time, I would definitely do all the AOVs possible. If you have a short amount of time, I would just maybe have a few AOVs. It really depends on the deadline that you have. I think it has to do with the deadline, the render power you have, and the budget, really, to be honest. Okay, please tell us about AOVs. So, Sashin, I have talked about AOVs on almost every stream. So if you go back to the deconstruction, like if you go back all the way, this is the deconstruction session 8. If you go to session 1, 2, or 3, you'll have a bunch of stuff about AOVs. So you can just go back and I have as you probably know, I have a playlist for that. So if you go to my channel here, if you go to playlists, and you go here, the deconstruction playlist, you see, if you go to number 1, 2, or 3, you'll see a lot of AOVs here. We have already 9 sessions here, because we're doing currently session number 8. But session number 9 is going to be in 2 weeks. So just go and look here. If you don't want to look here, I also have the other deconstructions, the older deconstructions. If you go to these deconstruction nodes, these are basically the 21 videos I did on the season 1 of deconstructions. I go through AOVs on almost every single one of them. So just go back and watch it. There's chapters, and just check it out. While I have you, actually, just can't recommend enough for people to go and check my latest video, which is, I'm very proud of this video. This was a presentation I did for FMX, and I'll put it on the chat here, and so that you guys want to check it out. Very proud of this project, and it's a very unconventional type of project that I did with visual effects in Nuke, because it's a project for a video art project for an exhibition on a museum. So it's a very different type of project of the ones that I usually do. So maybe check it out if you guys have the time. Okay. So I think we're done with questions. I think I'm gonna open up the script. 16-bit, I have one last question here that I have to answer. 16-bit Movies says, I'm curious to know what Nuke generally has over using software like After Effects. How would you persuade me to ditch After Effects to creating game trailers? 16-bit Movies, I don't want to persuade anyone. Anyone can do whatever they want. I mean, I'm not going to force anyone to do anything. It's up to you if you think After Effects is going to do the job for you. I'm pretty agnostic on those things. Like, If After Effects is working for you, you should continue using After Effects. If Fusion works for you, use Fusion. If Nuke works for you, use Nuke. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Most people just want to have a good image at the end. So as long as your client is happy, it doesn't matter which software you use. Having said that, you know, as a long user of After Effects, I've been using After Effects since 97. So, I mean 1997. So I've been using After Effects for almost 30 years now, at least 25 years. I must say After Effects does have some limitations in terms if you're using it for very heavy CG and very heavy visual effects. And it's a lot harder to do collaboration with other people in After Effects. So Nuke is much easier for you to work as a team, and a lot of people work on one shot and then people can do pieces of it, and because of its node nature, it's not as easy on After Effects. In After Effects you have one single project, and it's quite hard for people to share parts of the shot, you know, because on Nuke, because it's node based, you can share sections, and then you can have a rotoscoping artist doing one part and a CG artist doing the AOVs, and then a compositor putting it all together, and then a matte painter doing the matte painting part. And so you can have sections, and in reality one shot could be done by 5 people in compositing if you really have a quite big project, you know. So yeah, so KGR, I don't actually know any gizmos for that. I'm just go to Wikipedia. I'm sure there are a few there for that. I think so. This Mikhail, this video reminds me of my miscellaneous folder where I have a bunch of procedural node effects experiment. I did a lot of stuff like that, but I don't find any application for it. Adam says, one of my lectures always used to say, artists, not software. Yeah, that's kind of what I usually say. I usually tend to tell people not to be fixed on any software. I want people to be as agnostic as possible, you know, so they use the tool that they are comfortable with. And so 16-bit, if you're comfortable with After Effects, you go for it. Be happy. It just wants you to be happy, you know. You know, so it's I think, but you know, you'll be surprised. Maybe give it a go. Give it a go, because I think Nuke will surprise you. It's quite easy and quite flexible, and yeah, I think that would be it. Okay, cool. So let's open up the shot. So today we are going to continue the shots that we've been doing. I'm gonna just open up this thing, and I think it is this folder here. So remember, I actually think this is the last time I'm doing this, because I only have 2 more shots to show, and so I think today will be the last time we'll be doing this cinematic. So this is the cinematic I've been deconstructing for the past 5 sessions, I think. 4, maybe 4, 5 sessions, I can't remember. Very stylized, and you can just all go back and see it as well. So I think next time we'll go to the Zeiss project. So we'll move on away from this, because I only have 2 more shots to show on this cinematic. And so yeah, so today I want to talk about this shot, and I also want to talk about where is it? I want to talk about this shot here. So and maybe I'll come back to this project later if people request. You know, you can always do that, but for now I don't think I will. So I have this shot already open, so I have it on script here. I'm just gonna like delete this thing here because this is not supposed to be here. So that's the shot that I'm gonna just go through in a minute, which is this shot. Before I do that, I'm just gonna, like, as I usually do, I'm gonna show you the versions that we have. So we have 16 versions for this shot, and I like to show the versions because the same way that on the first stream I showed people the communication I had with the clients and the keynote presentations I had with the clients. So really recommend people to go back and check that out. And so, because it kind of gives you a glimpse of how I handle clients and how I deliver things to clients. And so this was a quite complicated shot because there was this idea that people wanted to do a shot with the katana. That was it. Like, there was the only brief we had was the katana is really important for the show, for the Walking Dead show. Can we use the katana somewhere? And I'm like, okay, where can we use the katana? I don't know. So we started like doing camera moves and we started doing rotations. Like we had this shot that we tried. We had this shot. We tried to have some slicing, maybe with some blood. This was like early Maya animations that we did. We also did these zooms and showing the katana, using these crash zooms. Then we tried it on white, and we were just experimenting. What the hell can we do with this? Then we tried it on black. We were really not going anywhere until the client gave us this. When the client showed us, I can't remember if it was the client or if it was me that found this. So this is the cover of The Walking Dead number 145. And so this cover, which is beautiful, by the way. I love this cover. It's like one of the most beautiful covers of the entire run of the show. Of the comic books. So this is So this is not The Walking Dead for the TV show. It's The Walking Dead for the comic books, which are from Skybound. So this cover really intrigued me, and I thought, I think we can do something with this. And so I'm going to show you then what we did. So this was the first version. We ended up like, well, Mikhail, I'm the director of this, but it wasn't really me that said about the katana. I'm directing this, but of course the client, the game's client, the director of the game wanted us to use the katana. That was it. So this was the first version of that shot. Very bare bones. We just basically did a quick camera move and put a lot of scratches and the blood, and again Robin Florian, which we've talked about him quite a few times now. You should check out some of my streams earlier where I show his Instagram and everything. So he was the art director, the concept artist that made this painting. So this was kind of version 1 of when we finally found out that we were going to do a katana shot. And then we kind of like evolved. We went through this, and then we went to a darker one, and then we went to a brighter one with some hills there and a skull on the floor. We then went to a more warm one with like a sun on the back. We then went to a more glowy one. And then we to a colder one with like a cold night. And then we basically, I think we stuck with that one. I think that's the last version. It's this one. So we ended up liking the nighttime. When we started, we were like daytime. So I think the first one was like that, and then we just progressively went brighter, and then we progressively went colder and darker, and that's the end of it. So let's open up the script, and of course also, by the way, I should show the breakdown as well. I think that would be a good idea. So the cold one is the nicest one. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. It is also the one I prefer as well. Let me just trim this here. So we just see the katana shot. The katana shot starts here. So we see the breakdown of it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna like put the katana shot here. Yeah, the katana shot starts there, and then it's over in here. Oh, thanks so much for saying that. I'm glad that you liked my color choices. Really glad. Okay, so that would be the breakdown of the shot. So it's a very simple shot, really, to be honest. But as ones, aren't they? That's at least it from my experience. That's what usually happens. So I was really proud of this one. It's one of my favorite shots, really, of the entire project. Really proud of this one. I've actually don't know why the player doesn't go away. I thought the player would go out of screen. Not sure why this player doesn't actually leave the screen. That is weird. Oh my god. Francesco is saying, trying to follow Hugo's course with Fusion, not easy. Oh my god. I am sorry, Francesco. Maybe I should do a Fusion course. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, people actually know what the kind of sword it is. That's awesome. Thanks, man. Very good. Okay. Ethan Davis asks, "Hi Hugo, any tips on creating lens flares in Nuke?" I do prefer to film them myself. I'll be honest, Ethan. I do prefer to film my own lens flares. But if I do have to make my own lens flares and not film them, then but I would always film. I have cameras. I would always film them myself. But if I can't do that, then I will use optical flares. Still think optical flares is the best one, really, to do this kind of thing. Okay, so let's go to the script. So the final shot. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. So that's the matte painting. So that's the first matte painting I got from Robin Florian. He made this matte painting. This is a 4K matte painting with layers, of course. We talked about this last time with the depth of field, with the matte painting, and of course that's all kind of like layered up. You know, we have like the background, and we have the, let's see here. Sorry, these are all switched off for some reason. Let me just do this. Wait. Oh, is this crashed? No. Wait. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna click the breakout layers. Again, keep in mind that I have sRGB here on the LUT, because I do not have the LUTs that we used at the time. So I'm just gonna put sRGB. Don't think this the wrong way, because normally I would have a Rexon 09 LUT there, but because I'm streaming this and I want you guys to see it a bit better, I'm putting an sRGB LUT. This is not accurate. I don't want anyone to see this and check, oh, Hugo uses sRGB on his comps. No, I don't. It's just that I do this so that you can see it a bit better. And to be honest, I am currently running sRGB on my monitor right now. Normally I have it on Rexon 09, but that is that one over there. So I usually have Rexon 09 on that monitor on the right side, or this one, which is my video monitor. So those both are in Rexon 09. The main one right now is in sRGB, but that's a different conversation for another day, I guess. Okay, so that's the matte painting, and as you can see, we have the sky. Then we have, like, you know, some layers that go on top of that. We have multiple layers that Robin did there. Some lights coming through. I think at some point we have the blood trail as well that he painted. And then we have, I think, let's see here, what else is here? I can't remember the top of my head. It's been a long time. We have some grass. We have the actual field. Oh, the layers behind, but that's because we're going to comp it later. So it's all split in layers, of course. So this rebuild is actually not the correct build. So that's the reflection, the new floor. So we had an old floor, then we made a new floor. And so these are all the layers that we're using. And then we have the skull. We have more grass, even more grass, the shadows of the grass. So it went through a lot of phases, and this is actually reaching the final section now, I believe. Reflection, more grass, and then I think the shadow of it, the actual Katanna itself, and then what else happened here? We have some blood splatter. There was a time that we were supposed to have some blood splatter as well. That didn't happen, but there was a time that we were going to have it like move, and it would be like sticking in the floor. The blood would kind of splatter, and then it would go like. We ended up not doing that because that was not only was going to be quite tricky to do, and we had a really rushed production, a very low budget, not a lot of time to do things, and so we ended up not doing that. I wish I would have done it. Maybe someday I'll do that shot on one of these streams. That's actually something that someone replied to me the other day. The other day, someone turned to me and said, "Oh, Hugo, you do these streams where you deconstruct the shots. It would be so nice if one day you would pick up the shot and actually do it the way you wanted it to be happening. Remember it like this, like, okay, imagine I had no limitations on budget, no limitations on deadline, no one was stressing me about the shot or delivering, and I would do exactly what I wanted on the shot." And I think this shot is one of those examples. I wish I would have done the blood splatter. I wish I would have done it in a different way. And so maybe once I finish my deconstructions, which are still have quite a few to go, maybe once I finish them, I can do that, because as you guys know, I have quite a lot of projects here that I'm going to show. So maybe I'll do that once. So you see, I'm going to do the Zeiss project next. That's my idea to do it. So that's the next one I'm going to do. Let's just open up this a little bit more and zoom in a bit more. I can't do the Adobe Creative because I don't have permission, so I can't do that one. Definitely going to do a few Sniper Elite. Vermintide already did a few shots. Maybe I can do other shots. The Far Cry, I definitely need to do that one. I only have the Bjorn as well. Walking Dead is what we're doing now. The Valkyrie only has one shot really to do. Mario's vs. Rabbids I can't do. I don't have permission. Valkyrie I have permission. And so the Crew I have as well. I've done a few already, so I can do other shots. Won't have permission for Assassin's Creed. Homefront, I think I've done all of them already. Oak Lake I haven't finished. Until Dawn I won't have permission, just cause I have. So I've done a few. I can do other shots. Rival Kingdoms I'm not doing that. I already done that. Baby Teeth I will definitely be doing that. And then Lennon Slow Motion I definitely do that. And then from there on, don't really have permission for most of these things. So these are commercials from the mill. I don't think I'll have permission from SIF or from Nike or from PG Tips or from the IKEA. I doubt that I don't think I will ever have permission from Samsung or from Panasonic, or I don't think that's going to happen. So I think it's going to be like more the ones on the top, which are really the ones I've directed. I think it's if you go to my directorial work, that will be the one I can have permission for, because these ones I directed myself. And so these ones here, which are 16 projects that I've directed myself, I think I'll probably I didn't realize I had done 16. Well, there's one thing missing here. There's my Ninja movie, which is missing. So it's actually 17 things that I've directed. And there's a few music videos I did in Portugal. So I would have said that I've directed maybe 20 things so far in my life, which is quite little. It's very little, isn't it? I'm already like 45 and only managed to direct 20 things. But things take time, That's how it works. Okay, going back to this thing. So this is how the matte painting kind of looked. And this entire thing is just like the other shot. It's a projection system. So I'm going to show you the projection system, the actual shot. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go all the way to the end here and just press and just show you the actual projection. So this is the really simple projection. So I have a floor, which is just basically displaced. And then I have all these cards with the grass, the blood trail, and then the sword. And that's it, really. That's the shot. And then I have also on the back here, I have some hills and I have some skies. Obviously, this is white here because I'm not seeing semi-transparency inside of Nuke here. But I just want to say the trailer. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you say. I'm glad you think that, Kat. That it's not a small amount of projects. I guess not, but I feel it's a small amount. I mean, I feel like 16 things directed is very little. But of course, if I go to my VFX work, I have a lot more because there's a lot of things that I've supervised. So if you go here, you have a lot more projects. But these are like projects I've composite, supervised, handled, done one way or the other. Yeah. Basic CGI, I'm about 30 and I only directed personal projects. Okay. Well, I'm 45. You still have 15 years to go, you know. Good luck with that, of course. Hope you get there. Okay, so yeah, so this is a quite straightforward projection system, and let's go back all the way to the beginning and then kind of like go through this. So as always, it starts with the matte painting itself, and then I keep saying this on all the streams, but I kind of split it by sections because I like to control edge blurs and light wraps if I need to add the light wrap. And so I have here the sky, and then I go to the back hill, and then I go to the ground, then I go to the grass and the Katanna itself, and then I have the foreground grass, textures and shadows, and then just the final color correction. So it's a quite short comp, quite simple comp. Starting with this one, the matte painting. So I basically shuffled out just the scratches, the white scratches and the black scratches. I graded them a bit, graded them both, merged them both, and did a bit of color correction. And so that's just the background sky, which will be on a card, on a card here, and then basically scan lined like that on a 3D system with a camera that I've adjusted. That was it, really. That's pretty much it. So that's that one. So I have black on the beginning, and then I just merge the sky. And then from there, as you can see, the way I structure this is I have like one single stream that goes and breaks out. You see, that's the main stream of the matte painting, and then it breaks down to the sky, and then it breaks down to the back hill, and then it breaks down to the ground. You see, it's always breaking down. So it kind of like you have these nodes here that go one way to the other. You see, it's like they go bouncing around here, and they're just feeding the matte painting layer by layer by layer. You see, that's the way that I usually work. Not the most organized thing I've ever seen, but it works. At least I think it works. Let me just I forgot one thing here. Sorry about that. Don't worry, we'll do a break in a second. I know we've been running already for an hour. Last time we did the stream, I went for an hour and a half without doing a break, and I'm not doing that because my legs are killing me. So I need to artists don't retire. I guess not. Yeah, it's been an hour. It's been an hour. Maybe we do a break soon. But I'll just do a few more things here. So we have the sky, as I said, and then from there we go this way. We have then the matte painting again, and then we shuffle out the back hills, and the hills on the front, and then of course these back hills are pre-multiplied. So I have this hill graded a little bit, edge blurred a little bit, just on the corner there. And then I have this alpha channel going into this alpha channel, eroding it a little bit, and then pre-multiplying it. And then that's my two skies, because I wanted to have the back of one and the front of one, and I kind of merged them both to make like, I don't know, to make like a floor with two sections of the matte painting from Robin. Okay, and then we put it on a card, of course. Now this card is just a back card, so it just like, I could have projected it, but it doesn't really need to. The camera move, as you've seen, is quite simple. It just goes back. It's just, well, sorry, forward. It just actually goes just like that. You see, it just, do I have the, sorry, versions, Katanna, that's the one. That's the one I need to show here. So that's the one. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you see, it's like just moving forward. So there's really no point of me, and also the depth of field. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I went a bit too far with the depth of field. It looks very fake, but I think that was the point. It was the point to make it very, very illustrative and very, very, um, I guess stylized. I would be that word. The word. In hindsight, when I look at this, I kind of feel like I should have made less depth of field. I don't know. I feel like it has too much blur. Well, sorry, it should have had more depth of field. That's what I mean. So I think I think it basically needed to be a bit sharper. But in hindsight, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, I have a lot of expressions linking things, and this is the expressions. That's why you have a web. You can switch off the expressions. You could switch them off. If you just go here to edit, it's been a long time since. Yeah, so you see, you can just do basically Option E. I'm not sure if in Windows. I'm on a Mac. Don't forget. So Option E, you can just like take away the expressions, and that's gone now. So see, I just well, okay. Let's switch them off. I'll switch them off. And that's less confusing. But keep in mind that the expressions were there, but I'm going to switch them off so that you see a more clean script. I'll do that. Yeah. So, okay. So I guess that's it. It goes to here. That's just the floor. I did a bit of grading, not something subtle grading there. And then I used PG Bokeh. Now, the PG Bokeh is going to break most likely, isn't it? Because, oh, no, it's not. No, that's the, yeah, sorry. I already swapped this because obviously when I did the project, it was PG Bokeh. But the cool thing about this is if you open up an old script that has a PG Bokeh node, Nuke detects it and it still opens it, which is great. So that was the iris, the bokeh that I'm using. So I'm basically using this bokeh as my PG bokeh. Not that it makes a big difference, but because it hardly has any bokeh, but that's it really. So that's just defocusing that, and let's see here. So we have this shot here. So that's then the floor goes in there. Okay, and then we have the ground. Now the ground is a bit more elaborate. We have all the layers of the floor of the ground are all split here, including the shadows. And basically, I have the ground being merged with the other ground and color corrected and then graded with the shadows. So these are the grass shadows, which are all merged here. So I've done a pass with the shadows, you see. And these are all the layers of the shadows. And then basically they just... They just you could switch them off. You didn't know that, Mikhail. Yeah, you can just switch them off. If you go to I can't believe I'm if you go, oh sorry, I've lost my Wacom tablet. If you go here to edit, you see expression arrows, that's it. Now I'm not entirely sure on Windows what would be the shortcut. Maybe someone can tell me. But on the Mac it is Option E. I don't know, maybe on Windows would be Control E. I'm not sure, actually, what would be on Windows. Man, I haven't used Windows in like 20 years. I don't know. Don't ask me anything about Windows. I only know things about Linux and Mac. I don't really use Windows. And I think now, looking at the news, I don't think anyone is going to use Windows now. I feel like Windows is kind of dead now because of the recent debacle with the privacy, where they are basically doing screenshots of every single thing you do while you're working. And that's not good, especially for NDA work. I mean, it's Alt A. Okay, great. Lucas just answered it's Alt E. Yeah, Leandro, Lucas, everyone is now saying, yeah, I get it. It's Alt E. So yeah, on the Mac is Option E. But yeah, I can't believe that Microsoft has done that, because I think they're gonna get in a lot of trouble with NDAs and companies. Okay, cool, excellent. So okay, cool. Let's see here. So as I said, it goes in here, and then I use the typical thing. I have the shadows as a pass, and then I use a color corrector just to color correct the shadows into it. And then this goes into a project 3D. So this goes into a project 3D, and then I have this. This was a piece of geometry that was made by our CG artist on the project. Not that we can't do it on Nuke. We can also do it in Nuke. It is just easier on Maya to do something like this. So this was sculpted. Not that it's very complicated. It's a really simple thing, as you can see here. It's just basically a sheet of floor, which kind of respects the floor. Okay, so okay. Yeah, no, Mikhail, I don't use Windows. No, I hate Windows. I would never use Windows. My entire career while I was at London, well, I'm still in London, but when I used to work in production at the mill, we had Linux the whole time. And then I still used Linux at my house for a long time. But now I'm using Mac because it's just easier. I just find Mac easier than Linux. Just better. But yeah. So anyway, we have a Project 3D. I'm applying it the material. So basically, I have the camera of the Katanna projecting into an apply material, and then you get this, which looks like shit from the top there, of course. But it looks just fine from the camera angle. So if I go to this camera angle here, that looks fine, as you can see. And it's still... Oh my god. Okay, sorry about that. This is wrong. So it should be 1001. I should lock the range there. Still to this day, I still don't understand why the 3D system is so slow playing back. Okay, now it's actually playing back, but okay, so that's it. That's the projection. That's the really simple. And in fact, you guys probably seen Victor Perez streams. Gives me the opportunity to shout out to him. So Victor is doing. If you want to learn more about projections, you should go to his channel. So let's just do a little love to Victor here. So node by node, node by node. Yeah. So Victor is doing streams every Tuesday. If you go here to the live section, and he does it every Tuesday. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. You should really go and support this channel, and you should go and check his stream as well. So I'm gonna just like put the link here where the streams are. So let's just see here. So Victor Perez streams. I really advise everyone to go and see them. And the reason I'm shouting out to it is not Victor didn't pay me, no. I'm just shouting out to him because he's been doing a lot of streams with projections. So if I go here to the last one, I believe the last one was like that. Let's just have a look if it is. I believe so. Hi Victor. It's nice to see Victor in my own stream. Okay, so if I go here, you see that's what he's doing. He's doing a projection system, a quite complicated projection system actually, with like a corridor from I believe it's a corridor from a train station. No, sorry, either a train station or an underground station. So if you want to learn more about the projection systems, you should just go in to his stream. He's been doing this stream for a while now. I think he's even done like he put in a person on that shot, so which is really cool. Let's see if he shows it. I think it's here. See, you actually place the person there on the projection system, and then you put a reflection. So you should just definitely check it out. Really recommend Victor's stream. They're really good, and you should go and support his streams. You should go and say hello to him and really give him some, like he really shares a lot of really cool tips and tricks. So that's it, Victor. Go and see Victor. Victor Perez node by node. Okay, going back to this is the projection system that we are doing here. And then it's really simple. Like it goes through the scanline render, of course. It gets rendered. And then I have, of course, a PG bokeh. Now, the PG bokeh is using the actual Z-depth defocus. So, as you probably know, the scanline render outputs depth. So if I go in here, you can't see it. But if I put a bit higher the f-stop here, see? So that's the Let's just go to the front here. That's the depth pass that the scanline render is creating. So that depth pass can be used with the PG bokeh, and so it can produce the depth of field. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. RGB. So it can do the depth of field here, and then I have a bit of color correction, a little bit of sharpening. Again, I put the sharpening because I just want to break up this to be a bit more stylized. That's why. And so I have like a really nice depth of field here going, you see, with the blood defocus on the front and kind of like going like this, which is quite nice. I like this a lot. And then we, yeah, so that's the floor, and then we merge the other floor on top. And then from there we go to the skull. So we have the skull and the switches here. That's the skull that Robin painted. And then we put the grass as well, the first layer of grass. That goes into a card as well. Gets depth of field. Now, this is why I had the clone. Remember, if I go and put the clones here, see, the bokeh is also... sorry. The bokeh is also cloned, you see, because it's cloned and they're all controlled by the same depth of field. And that's why I have so much expression curves, because all these PG bokehs, they're all connected to each other. That's why you get that. But I'm gonna switch off the expression as well, so you can see it. And so that gets depth of field, and then of course it gets merged on top. So we have that's that one, and then we merge the grass there, and then last but not least we go to the Katanna. So the Katanna is quite simple. We have a Katanna, which is a CG render that was actually rendered in Redshift. So we have an actual CG render of that model that I've showed you before. And we have a couple of light passes that Robin did, so like some fake speculars, and that gets merged. So we have like the light pass and then the fake specular pass, which is painted. And then we basically grade the whole thing and put it on the floor. I think these two are from, yeah, so that's the grade. And then it goes to a project 3D. So we have the actual Katanna. So this is a projection on the Katanna itself. So that's the Katanna that we brought in from Maya. The actual, not that we need that. We could have just done it with a card, that's for sure. But we did it this way with the Katanna, and then we projected that. I'm going to just switch off the light here. We did a project 3D and applied the material. So this is now being projected onto the geometry itself, you see. So not that we need to. We don't need to be this fancy. But this is the... this is like an overkill. Complete overkill. But it's so cool. Look at that. It's like a Katanna rotating. Oh my god, it's in 3D. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, it's a 3D Katanna. Okay. So, stop it, Hugo. Okay, so then it gets applied to the material, goes through the same camera, and basically you get this. So that's now the Katanna being projected. So instead of rendering it in 3D, you know, just so we could like save some render time, instead of rendering 75 frames in Redshift, which would take a couple of hours, we just did one frame, and then Robin painted some stuff, like he painted some blood. He also painted some fake speculars, and then we projected into a piece of geometry, and that worked quite nicely, actually. I think I forgot the blood, didn't I? Oh, the blood is here. No, the blood is not here. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I forgot this layer here. So we have this layer, which is the specular. Then we have the blood. Yes, exactly. So that's all the blood. So basically we have this blood here, which is a blood splatter. And then we did another blood splatter. They get merged, get both blurred, and then they get cut. So I use the alpha channel of the Katanna to cut the blood. And so I basically started with this blood and then I cut it there. So this is the old blood that I was going to use for animating it. This is from stock footage. And so I basically cut it with the alpha channel, and then I merge it on top of the blood. And so that's what you get. You basically get a bloody sword. That's really it. And then that gets projected. And then from there, I pre-multiply it. And I applied a bit of glow. So we have an inner glow and outer glow. Outer glow here, so you can kind of see it there. And then I have an inner glow, which is this one, which gives you like this kind of like pings of light on the katana itself. And then from there, we did a bit of sharpening. Now the sharpening just gives you this, just allows you to get it a bit more stylized. Remember, we talked about last time where I did log to lin before I do the sharpening. I think Victor did that as well on the stream. This is a very common practice we do in visual effects. We're almost done before we do the break, okay? So just like trying to finish this section so that we can... I still have quite a lot to go, and we've been doing it for a long time. I need to stretch my legs. Really need to stretch my legs. Maybe I'll do the break now, and then we'll come back to this. I might do that. Because I really need to kind of like stretch my legs. So I'll do that. Let's do the break, and I'll return to the shot in a second. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you're enjoying that. So we have quite a lot of people watching. We already had 300 people watching today, which is great. Thank you so much for doing that. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Remember, we have the giveaway as well to do. I'll put the links on the chat there. I have the links for the giveaway of the Nuke course, and then the links of the giveaway of the indie license from the Foundry. If you are interested on my course, you can also get it 50% off as well. And let's see here. So where's this thing here? So yeah, so that would be that one, and then this one. So it would be this one here. So that's the Nuke indie license, which I've put on the chat there. And then you have also the Nuke Compositing online course giveaway as well if you want to. And of course, you can also buy my course for 50% off right now, spring savings. And yeah, that's it. So I'll be right back. I'll just put the break there. Now remember, as I said before, we are going to do, I think I've mentioned this last time, during the break, which is 10 minutes. So I really recommend you to go and stretch your legs, get some water, stay away from your desk for a while. But while it's on the break, for those of you that are staying here, I will run the Foundry commercial again because they are sponsoring the channel. So thank you so much, Foundry, for sponsoring the channel. And I'm also going to run Anna's commercial for her book, Green Recipes for All, which you can now buy on Amazon, don't forget. And so I'm going to run Foundry's commercial, and then I'm going to run Anna's commercial, and then I'm going to run the GIF that I usually do. So it will be a break for 10 minutes. Stick around if you want to watch the commercial. It's like a commercials break. So stick around. If you don't want to see them, you can also come back in exactly 10 minutes. I'll put a timer, and I'll see you all very soon. And don't go anywhere. We'll continue with the shot, and then I have another shot that I want to go through as well. So I'll see you all very soon. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Foundry's Nuke is the industry standard tool for compositing in the film and TV industry. We've produced and curated all the essential resources for learning Nuke and preparing you for the profession, as well as recommendations for other training resources. You'll learn compositing fundamentals, rotoscoping, keying, tracking objects, color management, 3D compositing, and much more. Our objective is to empower artists with all the knowledge they need to push their skills to the next level. Jump in and start learning today.
Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean food. Inside you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time.
Okay, I am back. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for the kind words about Anna's book. I really appreciate that, and Anna will be very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. So I hope you've enjoyed a little break. I hope you've drank some water. I also wanted to I have my customary drink here as well, and I have some cake today. It's like I'm just like taking this opportunity to like make everyone jealous right now, you know. So this is actually one of Anna's recipes. So this today is this one here. So that's the. Let's see if I can put it on the screen here for you guys to see. So it would be like that. So that would be that one here. This one. So that's the nutty chocolate salami, which is over here. That's the one. And so which is featured on Anna's book as well. And I have a slice right here. Now, if you want to check it out, Anna actually made a video about it. And so if you go to our channel, I'll put the link on the chat here. If you go to our channel, you'll see what I mean. And you can actually see her recipe. I'm gonna put it here. So I have it here. So let's see here. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it actually here. So there you go. So yeah, and I put it on the chat as well for you guys to see. So I think it would be somewhere here. So that's the one. Of course, it's gonna be a commercial first, as usual. I'm the only one that notices that there's so many commercials now on YouTube. It's absolutely crazy and nuts how many commercials we have on YouTube. It's just insane. I'm just gonna like not play that. Oh my god, there's so many commercials. There you go. That's the commercial. That's the video. So if you guys want to check it out, that's the recipe. That's what I'm eating right now. And that's the nutty chocolate salami. It's a no-bake fridge cake, vegan recipe. It's also found on Anna's book. But if you want, you can also have the recipe there. It's on the video, on the channel, on Green Recipes for All. And I'm going to so yeah, check it out, of course. And I'm going to make the... I'm going to show you actually the cake. Let me show you this here. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that beautiful thing. I'm going to focus it here. Look at that. Very traditional cake in Portugal. And it's amazing. I'm going to have a bite. Mmm. Oh my god. This is so good. It's so good. My god. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, I can't share it with you. I wish I could, so that you can actually feel the same that I am doing here. But it's really good. You need one more camera for food. Yes, I do. And I'm also gonna open up my green cola. Remember, I keep saying this. I'm not sponsored by green cola, not yet. I really hope I can get sponsored one day. Green cola, the cola for visual effects and green screen. What can I say? It does taste tasty. It is really good. Anyway. I've now had cake, which is amazing. I don't want to have too much. Okay. I don't want to have too much, otherwise you're going to be hearing me like eating the food. Okay. So if you've enjoyed that, if you are interested on the book, don't forget that I keep putting the post on the chat here, so you have the link there. And you also have the link here as well. So if you're interested on good food, I would really highly recommend as well. So okay. So where were we? Is there such thing as too much cake? I guess not. Is that a real question, Adam? I guess it's not, isn't it? Because there is no such thing as too much cake. That's for sure. It's always good. Cake is always good at any moment, really. I need to switch off a little bit the light on the back there because it's reflecting too much here. So send me the cake and I'll make it myself. James Cameron prefers blue cola. Less spill. Oh my god, that is such a bad joke. That's insane. Again, that's a really good joke. Okay, anyway. I've had cake. I've had green cola. We've promoted Anna's book. Let's get right back into it. So, we're going to get back into Nuke again. And where were we? We were on the Katanna. So, the Katanna, it's theoretical, yes. The Katanna, oh, and now my Wacom tablet is not working. Because why would it? This is the problem with wireless things, is that they stop working. So I have a nice new wireless keyboard as well, which is nice, from Editor's Key. I just got it. It's for DaVinci. I love these keyboards, and now it's wireless. Look, no cables. I love wireless things. They're so much easier. Okay, so where were we? We were on the Katanna. So the Katanna, as I said, we put the blood splatter there and we did a projection with it. And then it went into a projector. And I also showed you the blur and the glow as well. Okay. So, and then of course, just like before, we had the floor and we had the sky and then we had the grass and the blood splatter. And then of course, now we have the Katanna. Now the Katanna gets merged just where it is. Now Robin already painted this nice reflection on top. Of course, the reflection should have had parallax as well, but it wasn't done that way. It wasn't really done that way. But it's not really supposed to be a realistic shot. And then from there, we now have the foreground grass. Now, the foreground grass, we have this grass there, we have this one here, we have this one, and this one, and this one. Now, they're all placed in individual cards. Here's the setup. We have a Project 3D going into an apply material with some cards for each of the piece of grass. So all of them individually or showing up like that. And then basically they all get, basically I have one piece of grass, another piece of grass, another piece of grass, another piece of grass, and they all get merged into one scene. And so that's how it looks in the 3D system. Basically, you have all the grasses there separated by cards, as you can see there. So that's it. Really simple setup. Super simple setup. Not really complicated at all. I get a little bit more cake. Oh my god, the cake is so good. Oh my god, it's just so good. I am sorry that you can't taste it. Okay. So, going back to this then. We then, of course, render it through the camera's perspective, and that would be like this. You basically would just get a bunch of grass in perspective in cards, and we'll kind of be ready to be there. And then from there, we did a bit of color correction. This is, of course, scan-lined into 2D, pre-multiplied, graded, and then, of course, the same PG bokeh. And remember, this is the PG bokeh that was expressed connected. So I have expressions, and I have all of them connected to each other. So, and then, of course, so far we've comped the background, the sky, the floor, the hills on the back, and the grass and the Katanna. And now we are comping the foreground grass. And because I've connected because I've connected all of the grass layers, all of them are on one single PG bouquet, which is cloned and connected by expressions. All the depth of field matches between all the layers, but I still have control. So for example, again, the example of this kind of control, imagine that I wanted to do a LightWrap to just the Katanna. I could do that, you know, I could put like a LightWrap here and then basically just have the background, the foreground, and then merge the LightWrap as maybe, let's say we merge it as a screen. We have the LightWrap here. Let's say that we just do the wrap itself. I'm going to exaggerate it so that you can see it. Let's say that that's the LightWrap. So that would be the LightWrap of what the brightest. Just give it a second. Yeah, so let's imagine that's the LightWrap we have, and then I merge it on top. And so that's why I do this kind of stuff, because this way I can now control. You see, now I have a LightWrap here, which I'm putting in. So I have that. This way, because I'm separating the layers and I have different PG bouquets for each layer, I then have the ability to have LightWraps where I want them. Oh, sorry, this is the other way around. It's like that, sorry. So you see, I can control the LightWrap and have LightWraps individually on each layer. I could also blur, edge blur, sharpen, do whatever I want. So, of course, I didn't do that. I didn't do a LightWrap on this shot, but I could if I wanted to. Okay, so now we have the grass. Now, the last thing we have here is this. I'll show you what this is. So this is the shadow for the Katanna. The shadow for the Katanna is actually a shadow from the matte painting. It gets projected as well into, and then it gets depth of field as well, just like everything else. And then, just like any shadow, it gets graded here. So that's the shadow of the Katanna going through there. And then last but not least, we have some textures which are on cards being outputted, and then they get merged with a multiply. And so that gives you this. It basically gives you all these scratches, and you get all this stuff here, all this pretty stuff that just floats because it's a card. So the cool thing about this is that we have it here, you see. So because it's on, because the card of the scratches is actually in between, this is the card of the scratches, because it's after the Katanna, in the middle of the floor, but behind you still have the hills and the other sky. Then you get a parallax effect between all of them, because as you play this back, I think I better just play it back from here. You see, you get these scratches that have a three-dimensionality feeling to it, you know. So, yeah. That's it, really. So simple, isn't it? Okay, so... I love Mikhail says that he did a tiramisu, but he put too much rum. There's never too much rum. You can always put more rum, which is quite good. Okay, so let's go back to Nuke. And then I think after this, I basically just have a bit of glow. I have some more glow. And I'll just wait for it to light load. So I put this glow and then the other glow. So basically I'm just trying to get like this kind of thing going with a little ping of light. And then we have some color correction. We have like some general color correction, quite extreme color correction. As you can see here, we have a lot of contrast, a lot of saturation. Not sure why the color corrector is always getting fixed. I'm gonna like not put it on full screen and then I can have it open. I'm not sure what's happening here. I noticed that this must be a bug of Nuke 15, because you see the color corrector now is separated as a layer, as a node. I can move it around, But as soon as I put it full screen, you see now it's here, but I can close it. And if I open it up, you see it's stuck on the middle of the screen. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here. So this is very peculiar. It's a very strange node. If someone from the Foundry is watching, you should check that out, because when you put it on full screen, it kind of breaks. It's kind of breaking for some reason, which is weird. A quick reminder, because I see that a lot of people are coming in now. I have a lot more people now than I had on the beginning of the stream. A quick reminder that you can always go back. You know, when you're watching a stream on YouTube, you can go back. You can actually go to the beginning. You can actually play it back, and you can actually go backwards or even pause the stream. So you don't actually necessarily have to watch the stream where we are right now. You can always go back and watch it right away. Obviously, right now it doesn't have chapters yet, but it will. It will have chapters later tonight. So keep in mind that I will put chapters tonight, and then tomorrow I'll publish this video with chapters, so you can jump from topic to topic, you know. So this is the quite extreme color correction that we put in. Just wanted to have something very stylized and very crunched. Then we have a radial here, which is done like that. And this is just to create a vignette. So I have an outer vignette, and then I have an inner vignette as well. And then I'm clamping. The reason I'm clamping is just because I want it to just basically remove some extra, because once this goes to grade, I don't want to have to deal with super highlights, you know. And then we have some chromatic aberration. It's quite subtle. It's not really big. It's just like a really simple color correct chromatic aberration, not really matching any lens. And then we have, I placed like basically placed a lens distortion. So this is a lens distortion from that camera over there. So it's lens distortion from this camera. So the lens distortion from the Blackmagic camera Pocket 6K. And so I put a 35mm on that camera, and I got this lens distortion. So you get like some lens distortion applied to the shot. It just gives it an extra little bit of je ne sais quoi. And then I have a little bit of sharpening. Now the sharpening just breaks the shot. That's the make it even more stylized, making it, you see how it breaks the edges. I'm just trying to make it more cartoonish and more similar to that drawing that you first saw. Because, and then of course I have the grain, the Luma Picture grain, which I really like, and then that just gives you like this extra grain on top, which you kind of get from here. You can kind of see the grain there. See, that's quite nice. And that's it really. And I think I'm quite proud that it kind of like we have that as a shot, and we ended up doing this. I'm really happy that we kind of took the best parts of this shot and kind of made something completely new with it, which was nice. Really enjoyed doing this shot. It was really nice. Anyway, that was it really. That's that shot. I'm gonna just play it back while we are all talking. That's that shot, and I have the breakdown here as well. No, that's the entire trailer. That's not the breakdown. The breakdown is still probably here. Yeah, there you go. That's the breakdown, I think. And I'll just loop it. It's already looping. So that's the breakdown of the shot that we just did. Okay, cool. So let's just go through a few questions here. Let's see here. Sarvesh Desai asks, "Hi Hugo, can you speak a little bit more about the current situation on our VFX industry? Or what are the things that we need to keep in mind while the situation is going on?" Oh man, that's a tricky question. I can't answer that. Like I think the situation is really dire right now. We have a lot of companies that a lot of companies that are just like waiting for the studios to give them work. Right now we're really on the back end of the strikes, and unfortunately, we are still suffering from those strikes. I think that's the issue. I think it's still going to get worse before it gets better. I think right now everyone that is listening needs to start considering working on other things. I feel like the film industry is not really going to come back anytime soon. I think it might take a while for it to recover, and not to mention with AI and all the. I don't want to be too gloomy, but I really feel that a lot of companies or a lot of studios are really looking into AI to replace people, and I think people need to start like really taking seriously having other ways out and also other things that you can be doing. You know, there are a lot of markets. You can work on the games industry, you can work on the architectural industry, you can work on the commercials industry, you can work on the private industry, you can work on corporate industry. There's a lot of things you can do with the skill set of 3D, 2D, compositing, design, editing, and I think you should really look into doing other things, because not everyone needs to can wait for this to get better. And also, it would always be better for you to have a backup plan. I think that would be my advice for people to kind of start considering also doing other things, because it might take a while for it to come back. And even if it does come back, I think this will happen more often. I think we will have more strikes in the future. We'll have problems with AI-generated material. I think we will have this race to the bottom that the studios and the film companies are doing is really producing a very inconsistent thing. You know, it's making people. It's like really bringing prices down. It's a race to the bottom. It's a bidding war, and that's really not healthy. And I'm not entirely sure all the companies will survive. So I really think people should start considering other avenues. You know, maybe start considering doing some editing, doing some design work, doing some concept work, doing some work for corporate. There's a lot of work that needs 2D, 3D skill sets outside film. Okay, so you just need to kind of open your mind to other opportunities that might be there. You know. That would be my advice. Okay, I can see here Mondal is asking, I was last week's winner for the Nuke course. I do apologize for that, Mondal. I must have missed your email. I will do that soon. I will do that right after the stream. I must have missed the email. I do apologize that I've missed sending you the email. Really apologize for that. Usually I'm pretty good with that, but I just probably missed sending you the email. So, okay, cool. So, any other questions? Let's see here. Mikhail asks, Hugo, how many LightWraps do you use? For me, default looks too linear, so I use 3 layers with different sizes and intensities, kind of like glow, exponential glow. Yeah, absolutely, Mikhail. I didn't use LightWraps on this project, but I definitely do that. I have a lot of times multiple LightWraps to create certain small edges, because whenever especially if you are against the sun, sometimes you have very bright edges of LightWrap and sometimes you have very broad LightWrap. So I tend to have at least 2. One that is incredibly hot and really, really, really strong around the edges, and then have another one. So if you, I think I deleted it, but if I go back here, I can kind of show you what I mean. So if I go back here, did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Did I delete it? I probably did. So why did I do that? Okay, I think I deleted it, the LightWrap that I was doing, but okay, that's fine. It's not a problem. I can just do it again and then show you what I mean. Just a second. I did a lot of undo, and now I need to just go back all the way to my history thing here. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Putting my screen up here so I can show you. Not that I did it on this project, but yes, I do tend to have at least 2. So I would definitely have two light wraps going on here. So, and if I was doing a shot like this, I would basically do, I would basically have my backgrounds running like that. I would basically, I've done this in the past on the stream as well, where I would have like an inner light wrap and I know this is a bit confusing now. And then I would have two merge nodes, either with a plane what I'm doing or a screen. Really depends on what I'm doing, but right now this would be the setup that I would do. And so let's imagine the first light wrap would be generate wrap only, and let's say this one has, you know, let's just do a bit of extreme here, so 0.1. So I just want like a really bright light. So let's fake this a little bit so that I can show you what I mean. So let's imagine for a second, of course, imagine for a second this is a really bright background. Okay, let's imagine that this is a sunny day. Okay. Just for a second, you know, don't not that I've done this on this shot, but just let's imagine that this is an incredibly bright background that we have here. And so it's like a super sunny day, you know, or something like that. So then, of course, my light wrap would be a lot more intense. And so let's say that we have like a light wrap of 0.5 with maybe intensity of 1. I'm going to do a diffuse of 1, or maybe let's try with 4 first. And then that's one light wrap. And then the other light wrap, let's say that we do maybe 10, but then a diffuse of 50. So that would be, you know, like a 5 of 50. So that's a really diffuse one. So we have a really thin one, just like you usually have if you're shooting something against the sun. You would get like a ping of light. Well, let's put a sun there, and then we can really... let's see here. So I'm just winging it, by the way, now. So no softness, and let's say that this is our sun. So let's just say we have a sun there, and I'm merging this. This is really awkward, but doesn't really matter. So let's just say that that's our sun, and the sun would be here. Let's just say that that's the sun. I know this is a bit silly, and it's not really how suns look. So so keep that in mind. That's not how a sun looks. Okay. I just don't... Please don't come around and say, oh, that's not the sun. Just like making shit happens while we're doing this. Okay, let's just... We have a sun now here. Why not? We merged the thing on the back there. So that's with the sun. Completely... Okay. Completely unrealistic, okay, guys? Like, just keeping this in mind. This is completely unrealistic. Do not complain about how unrealistic this is. But here's the sun. There it is. Here comes the sun. Okay, so... Oh, it could be the moon. Yes, you're right. It could be the moon. It's not the moon anymore. So now we have one light wrap here, and we have another light wrap here. So, you see... I merged that, and then I merged the first light wrap, and then I merged the second light wrap. So, see, this is what you usually get with the sun. You know, especially, you know, this King Kong shot where we see the helicopters against the sun, or even the shot of Apocalypse Now as well. Like, I think the this thing, I think I can find that real quick here. So if I just go here, King Kong sunset. Let's just see if I can find that shot. Yeah, there you go. That's the shot. So that's the shot that I'm talking about. You see? You see how much we have of the inner light. God damn it. Can I even download this? I can. So, not that I have that shot to do, but let's just try this out. So, you see that? You see that there? You see how much we have of two light wraps, really. We have an inner light wrap, which is like really, really, really hot and really strong and merged and almost removed an edge. You see how the edge is there, and then we have less edge. And then we have the outer light wrap, which is kind of spilling into the front. And that's usually a typical thing that happens when you have something against the light. And so this shot, of course, is exposed to this, and so that's why everything is dark. It's a beautiful shot, by the way. It's a really beautiful shot. I think it's one of the most beautiful shots of the film. And so if you go back here, you see I'm getting the same approach. So you see that's my breakup of the sun, which should actually be less. So it should be maybe a diffuse of 1, maybe a smaller line. So that would be that. So you basically get this. You see, the edge breaks with the brightness of the sun, and then we have the outer glow, which just spills everything in. So that would kind of be, obviously the shot would have to be on contrast, so it wouldn't be like this. You basically would have had to have, let's see here, you probably would have had to have like a much darker shot in sunlight, you know, so it would be like that. This shouldn't be blue, of course, but you get the picture. You understand what I mean. So to answer your question, Mikael, that's what I usually do. I have a two scattered LightWrap system. Maybe I should do a video about that one day. I'll put it on the list. I'll put it on the list. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, well, we don't have any more questions, so I think we've been going for 2 hours. I think I'm happy enough. Starting to get a bit tired, so I think we probably should just do the. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do the giveaway, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks again. So I'm a little bit tired already. We've been going on for a while. I've been showing you this shot and answering a lot of questions, and I'm not the young man I used to be. So I think we'll come back. So don't forget that we are doing the giveaway now. And don't forget that next week we are, where is it? We are doing showreel reviews. So if you go here to live, the next stream is next week, same time, with Showreel 19, and then the week after that we have Deconstruction 9. So just go in here, hit the notification. If you want to apply for the showreels, there's a link on the video. So if you go to the video here, and if you go here to the bottom, oh sorry, I'm not showing you. That's not good. I am so sorry, I forgot to show you this thing. Okay, as I was saying, next week, if you go here to my channel, if you go to live, this is the one we're doing right now. Next week, we are going to do show reels again. And then the week after that, we're going to continue the deconstructions. So we'll pick up where we are. So remember, it's like questions and also compositing. Show reels next week. If you want to apply, just go to the showreel review, the link, of course, hit the notification. But if you go here to the more, you can book your appointment. So there's a booking system here with a calendar. And there's a link to put your showreel. So the booking system is for the several showreel reviews we'll have in the future. I'm doing 2 per stream. So go and check. And if you can't find your booking, that means it's all sold out. So you just need to like go to the next booking until you find it. But I'll be sharing this online as well, of course, as I always do. Yeah, and let's just do the giveaway. That's not the giveaway. Sorry, apologies for me. So let's start with the first giveaway, which will be for my Nuke course. So let's do the giveaway. The giveaway is on the screen right now. So if you want to be part of it, you can still do that. So let's see here. So the link is on the chat as well. That's the link. And then the link for the Nuke license is there. So we'll do the giveaways now as well. And yeah, I have a little bit of cake. Okay, so let's do the giveaway. So we have first giveaway is the one on screen, which is the Nuke compositing course. Let's see how many people signed up for that one. Let's see here. So we have cool. We have 84 people for the Nuke course. and 122 people for the Nuke Indie. So that's cool. That's awesome. Almost 100 people. So let's do this one now. And the Nuke course giveaway, I'm going to roll the dice now. Let's just do the giveaway here. Remember, you have to be on the chat to win. So I'm going to draw the winners. And then we'll see where we are. Okay, so I have one winner here already. So let's see here. So, okay. Yeah, okay, 16-bit. I'll comp the I'll try to do that. I'll try to comp the cook on the CG. The winner of the Nuke course is... Okay. See if I know the name here. Okay, the winner of the Nuke course is Rogério Barros. So, sounds a lot to me like a Portuguese name or a Brazilian name. So that would be Rogério Barros. Cool. Excellent. Is it you? That's not the name I have here. So how do I know if it's you? It is me. Is it you? Like San0X. Okay. Let me see here. So let me see if you can... Okay, so here's the thing that I wanted to ask you then, to see if it's you or not. So, Rogério, which country have you signed up with on this giveaway? Could you just tell me which country so I can see if it matches? Which country did you sign up to on the giveaway? So which location are you in right now? Because I have the location here on the giveaway. If you tell me the location where you are, I can verify that it's you. Yep, that's correct. That's where you're contacting from. So congratulations, Rogério. Congratulations, you've won my Nuke course. Many congratulations. I'll be contacting you soon, and I'll contact you together with Modal as well from last week. Apologies to Modal that I hadn't sent the course to him. So that is correct. That is correct. So I'll send you the course soon. Okay, cool. So let's now do the other giveaway, which is the Nuke course, which is courtesy of the Foundry. So thank you so much, Foundry, for supporting my channel, and thank you so much for you giving us every week a Nuke Indie license to give away. Thank you so much. This is amazing, and my community really can't thank you enough. Okay, so there's 123 people that could win this, which is great. So let's see what happens here. So let's just see who wins. Okay, winners. I'm gonna draw the winner now and see who wins. Okay, so I have a name here. Let's see here. So the winner for the Nuke Indie license is... Okay. Okay, so I don't have a second name, only have a first name. Hopefully it works. So the name I have here is Baron. I think that's how I pronounce the name. That's the person that won the Nuke license. Now, hopefully they're here. And if they are here, congratulations. If they're not, I'm going to roll the dice again. Are they here? Are you here, Baron? Hopefully you are. Are you here, Baron? I don't think you are you? Otherwise you would have already said something. Oh, so the winner is Baron. I don't know if I can see them here. At least I don't see any names If they're not here, if they don't respond in the next like minute or so, I'll just like roll the dice again. While I'm waiting, I'll just have another piece of cake because you can never go wrong with the cake from Anna. So okay, so let's. Are you here? So I'll just mute myself so you don't hear me mushing around on the cake, and see if he's won. Okay. No, I'm not gonna keep the mic on. What do you mean? I'm not gonna keep the mic on. That's horrible. You're gonna be hearing me eating? No, no way. Okay, he's not here, so or they are not here, so I'm gonna run the dice again. So they're not here, so I'll just do it again. So okay, the winner of the Nuke Indie license is. I keep saying this to everyone when we do this. You need to be here, otherwise I'm not. I'm not gonna do the giveaway. Okay. Yes, the Patreon only. Okay, so the Nuke Indie license then goes to Gabriel Carvacho. Gabriel Carvacho? I think that's how I pronounce your name. So Gabriel Carvacho. Gabriel Carvacho. Is Gabriel Carvacho here? I hope they are. It's you? You don't sound like Gabriel. You sound like a Sergio. Okay. So. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're here. So, Gabriel, that's you. Um. Okay, cool. What do you mean, Sergio? So, Sergio is Baron? You can't be, because that's not the name I have here on my side. Sergio is Baron, that's what he says. How can you be... My Twitter is, okay. Okay, how do I see this? Because you see, Sergio, that is not the name I have here on my side. On the names I have on my side here are not Sergio or Marcelli, not at all. I have a completely different name, completely different email here. So I'll need to like find this out. How do I know who it is? So okay. So I guess then okay, I'll tell you this. I only have one license, okay? I just want to let you know, all of you, I cannot ask for a second license for the Foundry. I only have one. So I'm going to do this then. I'm going to, off of this stream, I'm going to try to verify if it's Baron, if Baron really is the person he says he is. So, Sergio, if you're really Baron, try to prove it to me by messaging me on social media. Try to send me some way of me understanding, or maybe send me an email with the email that you've signed up this giveaway. So if you do that, so if you do that, if you put while I'm discussing this, I'm just gonna like put another thing on the screen. So for those of you that didn't win the giveaway, remember that you can still buy my course 50% off. It is available right now, 50% off. So I'll leave the QR code there. So what I will do here is so Baron, please email me with the email that you've signed up to the giveaway. If you can prove that it's you, then I'll give you the Nuke license. And if you can't prove it, then I will give it to Gabriel, okay? Now, so Gabriel, I do apologize. So if Baron can prove his identity, then of course, Gabriel, you won't win the license. So do apologize for that. But what I could do for you, Gabriel, is if I can't prove it, I'm happy, Gabriel, to give you a Nuke license if you want to. Sorry, not a Nuke license. Sorry, a Hugo's Desk course. I'm happy to do that for you if you end up not winning this. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that so that I don't. I don't want you to like be sad about not winning. Okay. Okay, cool. So, okay, so let's just see here. Okay, cool. You're sending me an email. That's great. Extra winner. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so Gabriel, in case they can prove their identity, I will then give you my Hugo's Desk course. Okay, that works. Okay, that's great. So I'll give you my Nuke course. But if Baron can't prove his identity, you'll get the Nuke license. Okay, so I'll do that. So you guys, we can sort this out offline and not do it here. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. Remember, you can still buy my course, 50% off there, as you see on the screen. And yeah, thank you so much. I'll leave you for now. I'm going to basically not that one here. So I'll leave you with thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna continue eating my cake, Anna's cake. Remember to check out her book. It is an amazing book, and just want you to support independent self-published people like that. So just go ahead and support her book as well. I've left the link there on the chat. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back next week for the showroom reviews. And then the weeks later, we'll do the deconstructions. So congratulations to all the winners. And I hope to see you very soon. Have a great day. And yeah, I'll put in the chapters tonight, and then tomorrow you can rewatch this video, with chapters. So goodbye, everyone. I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.